Hello ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here bringing you set 4 of SKT versus Ace. It is going to be on Electric Circuit, the 4-player Medusa map. And should Ace win this game, we will go on to an Ace match set 5 on, I believe it is, what is the last map? Let's see, it is going to be Jade. Should Ace win this game, we're going to have for SKT1, we are going to have the final member of the Big Three, Bisu, is going to come out here in green, the Protoss player, in the bottom left, and in the top left for Ace is going to be a Terran, Canata. Oh, Canata. So if this game gets to, 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes, maybe Canata can win this. Just joking. Canata has a lot of long games, though, throughout his history. A lot of very long games. Very defensive player, very long games. He's actually pretty good at TVT, I think, because he's good at longer positional games than anything else. That is his strength, and we'll see if he is able to use that to his advantage here on Electric Circuit, which does have several ridges, which does have some of these back doors, and some things that some map features that you can try to use to your advantage if you can get your tanks in the proper location, if you can get engagements in the right location. You can get away with doing some cool stuff, and Canata certainly does have a chance in that regard. He does definitely have good tactics and things like that, so that's going to be the style that he's going to have to play if he wants to get a win here. He's going to be going against one of the best Protoss players of all time in Bisu here in the bottom left. Bisu just absolutely amazing. I think he was he was player of the year last year, I think, for Pro League. Most wins and lots of things for Bisu last year. Really strong year in Pro League. Unable to win the championship, of course. Best taking the Ace match against Flash, against KT instead of Bisu, and Best lost it. So Bisu sitting on the sidelines. Their best Pro League player, Bisu, was sitting on the sidelines. So that's gotta be a little bit annoying, despite what he said in interviews and things. I'm sure that he's actually kind of peed off about that he was sitting on the sidelines while Best lost to Flash. But yeah, that's the Bisu story of last year, and this year it's just continued. He still wins basically everything, and no one can really touch him. And he's coming out here in set 4 rather than being saved for set 5. So the Big Three come out here in the middle of the series, and set 5, who even knows who's going to be the last SKT player should Ace win this game. Here comes a scout for Bisu, going to be able to start harassing with that super stupid scout, and that probe has annoyed so many people throughout its long illustrious life at being controlled by Bisu, and he might actually get an SB kill here. Look at this, 10. Oh no, that's at 15 health. He's going to need 3 more hits on it, and his own probe still has all of his shields left. Finally, a Marine comes out, so this probe is going to have to run away. But yeah, doing some good harassment there, but Canata able to deflect it, not wasting too much time or energy on it, able to deflect it and do some good work. And then Zealot actually coming out here, going to see the SCV scout coming in. He's going to go in here and try and maybe do some harassment. The Zealot comes in here, gets a couple shots off, as well as the probe, and Marines and SCVs will actually go down pretty quickly with that combination. Zealot probe, just that little 5 damage that probe can really add does end up making a difference in the damage output and the number of hits it takes from the Zealot to really start killing off Marines and killing off SCVs. But 3 Marines there are going to be too much for a Zealot unless we have some fantasy-esque ignorance, and not ignorance, but just ignoring of his units for that Zealot to get a kill. Not going to see that here. We do have the factory already completed for Canata, and we have a proxy pylon. So are we going to see maybe Reavers? A proxy robo into a Reaver play? That would be pretty cool. And we're going to see, though, what is it going to be? What is it going to be? What is it going to be? It is going to be a robotics facility. Yes! It is going to be proxy Reaver, so this could be really fun, really fast. I am excited. Bisu could end up showing us the meaning of micro here and just destroy Canata with a super shuttle Reaver, which would be awesome, especially once you get speed on that shuttle. This could be really cool, and just bounce back and forth. It's actually been a while since I've seen a shuttle Reaver combination just beat a Terran. Just straight up, just shuttle Reaver wins. Just into win. Shuttle Reaver into win. I would love to see that. It's been a long time since I have seen that kind of a game. So I'm a little excited here to see something a little A little out of the ordinary, something you don't see very often, but Speed Shuttle Reaver is very, very cool when it works, and just bounces back and forth. You know, you get the Reaver with like 20, 30, 40 kills, and it just becomes obscene. You know, it just picks off like 4 or 5 tanks, and the numbers just grow and grow and grow, and it's just like, oh my god, what am I supposed to do? But this SCV does get into the main and does get a scout off, so Canata knows something is up. Either there's a Nexus going down in an odd position, perhaps at his back expansion, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, or there's going to be some kind of proxy or a hidden base somewhere. He knows that he's got to know that something is off. Something is not normal here, because he saw nothing inside of the main. No tech buildings. There's obviously a missing pylon as well. That's something that Terran players do whenever they get a scout, is they count the pylons that Protoss players build, and they know exactly how many pylons you're supposed to have at different points of the game. So if they don't, you can't find them all. If they can't count them, well, then they know something's wrong. So that's why we see that SCV there at his back base, throwing up that engineering bay, going to give him some scouting information, and he's going to need the engineering bay anyways to get turrets, which is very likely where you go. If you don't know what your opponent's doing and needs a Protoss player, you get turrets, because if it's a Bulldog, you need turrets. If it's DTs, you need turrets. If it's Reavers, you need turrets. So regardless of what's coming your way, you do need those turrets, and so engineering bay is generally the way to go. Sometimes you also go scans as well if you're feeling really scared. You'll get the scans at the same time, but a lot of times you'll see players kind of delay that for at least a little bit. And not rush straight into academy scans on top of that engineering bay. As you get a little bit of a dogfighting here going off in the middle of the map, as this SCV tries to get past the Dragoons, not going to have any luck. And this engineering bay floating is going to run right into that robotics facility as it moves down, if the shuttle doesn't reveal itself even earlier. But that engineering bay absolutely will scout out. Here comes the shuttle, going to run right into the engineering bay, and Bisu's like, really, Canata, you scouted this out perfectly. But Bisu going to come in here with the Reaver, going to get one SCV here and stop that turret from going up. How much more damage will he be able to do? I really, really hope that he's getting speed on this Reaver. That'd be so awesome. I really, really want him to have speed. Oh, but this is going to be really tough. I don't know if he has. I think he might have picked up a Zealot or maybe a Dragoon here with that Reaver there, because I don't think all those units that are normally in the middle of the map are there. There's the Dragoon, and there's the Reaver going to get a shot off. Not going to be able to get anything, I don't think. No, not going to get anything. It's going to dud. But he could try and pick off this tank here that's sitting in the middle, and Bisu going to do nothing. Ah, come on, Bisu. No, not going to be able to do anything. Womp, womp, womp. There's the observatory, so we'll be getting some observers out as well for Bisu's scouting information, but I'm very, very disappointed here. I was hoping for some awesome shuttle Reaver work, but not going to get anything. There's just too many Marines, and now we see the number of turrets starting to grow, and the command center for Canata also going up, so he's going to be taking his third base at about the same time that Bisu takes his third. So it's going to be very, very even on that count, and Reaver Scarab does take out one Marine and almost takes out another, and he could actually drop a Dragoon and just pick off that Marine real fast, trying to pick it off, but I'm not sure if he's really got the life on his Dragoon. Can't really tell. And another Reaver going to try and get a Scarab off, and that Scarab is going to get one. That Scarab gets one SCV. Now there's nothing left in the shuttle except for a Reaver. So, again, wah wah wah. Bisu not able to do a whole lot with this Reaver. I think he's got 4 kills, 5 kills now. Just very, very minimal damage. But he is getting up to 3 bases, and it looks like at the 6 o'clock position he might be throwing up another base down there at the 6 o'clock. So it looks like we could be seeing a transition straight into huge macro play. Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. You're going to get that 4th base at the 6 o'clock with that extra gas. I'm going to get the gas advantage. And he's actually got 2 Reavers now. Going to keep up the harassment here with 2 Reavers, trying to delay this base from going up right now. And with a lot of tanks here, though, the harassment is going to be pretty limited in its effectiveness, just because you can't really drop off a Reaver next to a tank hoping that other tanks shoot it, because that's a really costly Reaver bomb, and you just don't do it. So you'd have to have another shuttle in here in order to continue the harassment to too much effect. You might be able to find specific ranges. If he's got the range on these, the radiuses on these tanks down perfectly, he could theoretically drop 2 Reavers off, get 2 Scarabs off, and just take one shot to both. Something like that. It'd be difficult, but it's possible. Just kind of complicated. Here we go. Let's see if Bisu is going to do anything else, or if this is just still just keeping the pressure on. If nothing else, this will, of course, keep the pressure on Canata and force Canata to multitask like no other, and maintain his form. If at any point he stops paying attention, or he stops moving his tanks, or he doesn't get things sieged properly, he could end up in trouble. So that's basically all this shuttle's doing right now, just stressing Kanata's multitask and his form at the moment. We do see Bisu's 6 o'clock base, his 4th did get scouted out by Canata, and that is going to be the path of Bisu's expansion. He's going to just go counterclockwise, just expand that way across the map. We'll probably see Canata may go for the 12 o'clock base for his 4th. Most likely he's actually just going to try and max out or get a huge army off of 3 bases. But for his 4th base, either the 12 o'clock, or if he wants to get pushing, which is what a lot of Terran players will do, he'll push down towards Bisu and take that 9 o'clock base as he's pushing. If things are going well for him, that is definitely going to be where we'll see him going. If he's a little bit more conservative, if he's a little bit more worried about Bisu's power, we might see him take the 12 o'clock first, but definitely he's going to want to establish a tank line in the south, in the middle of the map, towards Bisu, try and box him in a little bit at least. We do have some vultures wandering around the map. I haven't seen any mines go down, really, not in mass anyways. We've been seeing mostly tanks so far from Canata, and pretty minimal vulture play, although we are finally seeing the vultures pop out. Now that command center actually forced to get cancelled by 3 Dragoons only. Canata was looking to take that 4th, and he was going to take it at the 12 o'clock base, so he's going to be going for a very long game as Canata. He's aiming for the long game, not going to be getting as aggressive, not looking for that 9 o'clock base. Playing true to his style, he is going to play very, very conservatively. There's the Templar Archives as well as the Stargates. We're going to be going into Reaver's tech here from Bisu, working on getting his 3rd gas as well as the bottom right. He's probably going to be taking another base down there. Just going to keep expanding. He saw the command center for Canata, so I think he knows that Canata wants to expand. So his counter to that is that if Kanata's going to take a 4th base, well, I will take a 5th base. And in fact, we might even see Bisu go for a 6th base as well. Could see him take 2 of the both gas bases down at the bottom right in rapid succession. Absolutely a strong possibility, really. As long as he's able to play defensive, looks like he's got enough Dragoons out that he can counter a lot of harassment. Although the vultures are going to the bottom right now, so Bisu will get caught if if there's too many probes down there at the moment. But overall, he definitely has a chance to go ahead and take some more bases. And some mines coming in here, vultures as well for these Dragoons. Not going to have any success as the Reaver pops in there. And once a Reaver shows up, Reavers versus vultures is not pretty for vultures. Reavers just absolutely tear through them very, very quickly, unless they get a lucky mine off. And Bisu might actually drop on top of a mine. Nope. Ooh. That was very, very scary. Bisu may have dropped on top of a mine. That would have completely changed things. And here come the vultures once again, are going to kind of come in here. And Bisu with that shuttle kind of oddly not able to have his Reavers in position to defend. Very uncharacteristic of him. I really thought he would have been able to have them to defend his Dragoons, because now he's going to have to bring these Dragoons into the back. He's going to have to station a few more there. It's just kind of annoying. And now he's not even going to be able to actually clear out all the vultures from his base. So poor Bisu, actually, in this position, he's going to have to use his Dragoons to keep the path open. He is main-arting right now, as he is very, very deathly afraid of a mine taking out, doing a lot of damage to his Reaver, possibly taking them out depending upon what their health is at. Haven't seen that in a while, but the Dragoons are coming in to clean this up, and this is the perfect time for Canata to try and do something different. As all these Dragoons are down here, if Canata was actually prepared for this, if Canata had seen this happening, he could have laid a trap for this, maybe brought in some tanks and things to bottle these Dragoons in, or he could have just gone straight for the 6 o'clock base, try and done some damage. But Canata just playing very, very defensive, just allowing Bisu to use the Dragoons to clear away the mines and the vultures, and really not taking advantage of the fact that he really had a great opportunity there to establish a presence on the map. I think that really was a mistake by Canata, not taking an opportunity there. Unfortunately, at this point, he is falling very, very far behind in side count. You can see he's down 50 supply to Bisu. Bisu off of these 4 bases, 5th base just now getting rolling as well, and an obscene number of Zealots as well. That is a scary number of Zealots if you are a Terran player. They will lightning fast rip into your tank line unless your mines and your vultures are positioned perfectly. That is a ridiculous amount of Zealots. That looks like 2.5 control groups worth. Maybe more, maybe 3 control groups. Yeah, it looks like this might be 3 control groups worth of Zealots. Just a ton of Zealots. And yeah. So this is when we need to see excellent, beyond excellent vulture play from Canata in order to keep these Zealots off of his tanks. And it looks like he's just missed it. Looks like his vulture's going to be completely out of position. He's completely missed it. He has no idea this is coming. Vulture's totally out of position. Zealots streaming in, and this is going to be terrible for Canata right now. Zealots just streaming in here, picking off tanks left and right, getting right into that tank line. So many tanks going down. Zealots still streaming in, still into the 2nd level of tanks. Will they get? They are getting into the 3rd level of tanks. This is the final defense of Canata, the 3rd level of tanks, and most of those tanks to go down. Just 1 tank remaining. Canata with a huge mistake here, not seeing those Zealots stream out of Bisu's base, losing a ridiculous amount of tanks. So the armies will get traded here. These Dragoons are getting bottlenosed and are going to bottlenecked and are going to be taken out, but that is a huge loss for Canata. Lost something like 10, 15 plus tanks in that fight, and Bisu with all of those gateways at the bottom right as well will be able to recuperate with that Arbiter tech now rolling. Now it's going to be even more difficult for Canata to invest in science, in the science facility, in the science vessels, in the EMP in order to counter this Arbiter play. So Bisu in a fantastic shape here as we go on into the later mid-game stages of this game and into the early late game. Bisu in fantastic shape, absolutely fantastic shape at this moment. Our army trading in that position was just perfect, and he is just so far ahead right now. You can see it now. He's up 30 supply. He's got more money flowing in. He's got more gas flowing in. He's got the tech advantage with the Arbiters rolling, and we haven't even seen any sights of a science vessel yet. So just huge advantage right now for Bisu. After that, that was just a terrible fight for Canata. Just absolutely terrible. Completely out of position. Didn't even have enough mines down. So he wandered out with his vultures. But if he had each of those vultures with 1 mine in defense of his tanks, he may have been able to save a few more. But not even able to do that. So he's just lost a lot. Vulture getting in here into the bottom right, going to pick off a couple of probes, but that's it, and not really going to be able to do much of anything. We do have a few more gateways there at the bottom right. We see cannons going up all over the place to defend against Vulture Harass, which honestly, even at this point, I really don't know how Vulture Harass is going to get him into this game. I think Canata at this point just needs to pray for a miracle and that he can play defensively, and somehow Bisu can force a bad engagement, maybe miss micro, maybe he can get a good EMP off, and there's the science vessel, and maybe just try and win a fight. But it is not looking good at all at this moment for Canata, and Bisu at this point is just building more gateways, maxing out, just stockpiling. Really, we're gonna see him stockpile a bunch of resources, and whenever he's ready, then he will go ahead and get a fight. But he's just stockpiling resources. You can see he's kind of low on gas, and so that's really the only reason that we don't see him pushing out a little bit harder, is he's probably just trying to stockpile some gas at this point. And here we go. Now it looks like Bisu is ready, perhaps? No, not quite ready. But we'll have to see. I mean, he's going to engage sooner or later, and it's actually going to be an Arbiter coming in here with a recall. Fail EMP by Canata. Absolutely big time fail EMP. That base is going to evacuate, so Canata now down to 3 bases. His main is almost mined out, so he's basically down to 2 mining bases. And if this command center gets picked off, this could end up being really bad for him. Some Zealots get on the low ground, able to take out this 1 tank. Are they not actually going to be able to pick it off? And these Dragoons, if they back off, will actually be able to keep Canata from taking the space for a long time, but it looks like Bisu just trying to do a whole lot of other things. Does manage to pick up the science vessel, a big win for him there as well. Able to pick up that science vessel, able to recuperate before it's able to recuperate any of its energy enough to get off another EMP or offer more detection, so that's going to be a big advantage for him. And Canata, I mean, the psi count is even right now, but it just, I mean, look at Bisu. He's got almost 5k minerals, almost a k gas, just so far ahead. Picked off a bunch of these missile turrets, just a lot of problems right now for Canata. No map control, really. His vultures there that we saw just got wrecked, just so quickly. They showed up and they died, and weren't able to do much of anything. So it looks like Zealot and the Dragoon are going to try and pick off this 1 tank. We'll see if they can maybe splash fire and actually pick off 1 more. But Bisu now pushing out once more. He's got observers in position, so he will be able to take out this minefield with very little problems. and just be able to continue and try and force another fight. And we're getting to that point where Bisu will have so many gateways rolling very shortly as he gets up to 7 bases and so much money rolling in that he can basically go Soar on Protoss and just build a huge. It's a little different than Soar on Protoss in that you don't just stream your units in, you mass your units, charge, army swap, mass your army again, and charge. And we're just gonna see that over and over again from Bisu. The other option is to go for recalls, and that looks like he's actually going to be going for that instead. Don't see enough mines here for Canata, so this recall once again should be very, very successful. There it is. Recall is successful, and Dragoons on the high ground will be able to take down this few number of tanks on the low ground, and going to continue harassing and keeping Canata back. Some excellent recalls coming in here from Bisu, playing fantastically, and Canata just in huge trouble. Looks like he is going to lose his command center this time. An 8th base now going up for Bisu. The command center does go down, and Canata just in huge trouble, and don't see a way for Canata to really get out of this one. I just don't see the avenue of victory. The path to victory is not clear. It is dark and clouded and mysterious, but Kanata's searching for it. He still does have a decent supply count, but I mean, what does he really do with it? I don't know. He's just so far behind in bases, and his tech really just isn't there, to be honest. Just one science vessel, maybe 2 at any given point, just not a whole lot. And yeah, just not able to really mass up and get that big brute engagement that he really needs. He's mining off of 2 bases right now, basically 1 as soon as his natural mines out, which is going to be very, very shortly. He'll basically be mining off of only 1 base. Bisu has mined out his main, his natural's got to be close. His 3rd is probably relatively close as well, but he's still going to be mining off of 5 more bases after that. So Bisu not struggling for money at all. We see 6k and 1.5k here right now. Stargate's continuing to pump out Arbiters right now. It looks like we had another recall, and Canata in huge trouble. Arbiter coming in as well. Storms all over the place, catching tons of vultures, taking out a bunch of tanks as well. D-Matrix, not gonna be enough. This, yaw trick. Canata basically an army swap with not quite an army swap, because Bisu still has a little bit, or I'm sorry, Canata has a little more army left, whereas Bisu has, what little army Bisu has left is inside of Kanata's base. But once again, does this matter? That's really a question. Does this matter? There's still 5 bases mining, and Canata just GG's. He knows it's over. Canata GG's. Bisu takes the 4th set for SKT1, and they win 3-1 with their big 3. 2 of the 3 of them, Bisu and Fantasy, coming out with victories, and Alone getting the 3rd. So there we go. This series is going to be over. Bisu, Fantasy, and Alone with victories for SK Telecom 1, keeping the pressure on at the top of the standings on CJ, on KT Rolster, to keep winning. Those 3, really, the big 3 right now, KT, CJ, and SKT, trying to fight for that top spot. So I'll see you guys later next time I cast. Who knows? We'll try and find another series, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. GG's.